Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of JTV Extra. I'm Sandra Younger. I will be your hostess for this interesting lesson. Because when I was working on the project for this show, one thing that happened was I started making one thing and I did not like the way that it was turning out. So, I thought to myself, like, how do I salvage this and try to turn it into something else? So that is what this show is going to be about. And the project that we're actually going to be doing is it's like the ladder bracelet. It's going from a knotted piece to a ladder bracelet. It's really, really interesting. But before we get started, as always, if you're new, welcome. You can ask questions, leave comments, and you could also hit that heart button if there's something that you see or you like. And let me talk about the share button. You could share this program on any of your social media pages like Facebook. I don't think so much Instagram, but I know that you could send the link to your friends and family, via email. And let me see anything else. Oh yeah, one thing I want to talk about real quick before we go on is Brilliant Cash. So this is the Brilliant Cash in a nutshell. And basically what it is you get credit for everything you purchase on JTV. And if you use your preferred card, which is a JTV credit card, you get 2% back with your preferred card. But first time purchasers, you will get a $40 credit to your account. And you do not have to have a JTV credit card to get this. It's like as if you just go to some website and you buy something, and then when you go back, there's just automatically a credit. I mean, because a lot of people have asked me, do I actually need to have a JTV credit card? And the answer is no. On your birthday, you get $20. The anniversary of your first purchase, you get $20. Sparkle Ambassador, refer a friend. You get $25, and the person that you refer gets $25. So that's fantastic. And like I mentioned before, 1% back on all purchases, but 2% back with the preferred card. And if you are a returning customer after 365 days, you get a $30 credit. So I just wanted to cover that. And we've got some really exciting products. And my favorite, I think, is the leather, because it's soft and it's supple. And, mostly what I want to know is, how are you guys doing? I mean, it's been a week and, a lot has happened. And, I just, let's see, Kathy, Susan, Kim. Hey, guys. Before we get started with the rest of the show, I want to just go over the products that are going to be on today's show, because one of the two things that I'll be using as far as stringing materials go is definitely the leather and the wax jewelry cord. But let's check it out. Okay, let's see what goodies we have today. Okay, so first I want to talk about these spacer beads, these antique silver tone plated spacer bead. Guys, these are 10 millimeters, and they've got a ginormous hole. So that means you could put a bolo cord through it, several strands of leather. So, and one interesting thing about them is that they're lightweight. So they've got they're not really, really heavy. So these are really nice. And you get, it comes with 10 altogether. And then the next item is the banded, faceted turquoise cube. These are really beautiful, beautiful beads. And the only reason I had a hard time working with them is because I didn't know what to do with them, because I wanted to do so many different things with them. I thought they'd look great knotted, braided. It just, but they're beautiful. And you get a 15 to 16 inch strand. And let's see, next we have, okay, you get a 1 pound bag, mix of a turquoise simulant. And look at all the different shapes. You get circles and squares and crosses, and I really thought those turtles were adorable. So you get a 1 pound bag of these. And some of them look like a greenish turquoise, some of them are like a bluish. So you just get a bunch of stuff. And the next thing we have is our board, the Knotty-Do-It-All. But I'll talk more about this during the show when I do the demo, because I just want you to I just want to talk about some of the really cool things that you can do with this tool. But what you get is you get the instructional DVD in the ebook, and you also get a password. Everything is online. So if you don't want to do the DVD route, which I know it's, actually a lot of people do, um, just for a variety of reasons. But you get the hardware, the pouch, the beautiful like hardwood board. It's got the bead and ring size chart, the little wells, so you could put beads and stuff. But you'll see more about this in just a few minutes. And let's see, next we have, let's see, oh, the lapis lazuli beads there on top. Okay, these are great because you get 3 strands, and you get the 4mm, the 6mm, and the 8mm. And I think I used the 6mm for today's project. And let's see, so in the next thing, which is one of my other big favorite, is the wax jewelry cord. Okay, and what I like about, okay, this is the gray brown, no, this one's the gray brown and the moonlit brown. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Look at that. And you can never have enough shades of brown. I mean, I have every like shade of brown I think imaginable, because sometimes you need red brown, yellow brown, bluish brown. And so here you have like the grayish brown, and then what I call the moonlit brown, which is kind of like a golden brown. And then over here we've got the alabaster and the black. And I'm going to tell you, okay, we're going to be using this, but I'm going to give you a quick lesson, because this is one thing that I did to make this bracelet. Because by itself, it would not go through the bead twice, but if you separate it, it's really cool because you can make like a thinner version of the same cord. So all you got to do is just real gently like twist it like this, and then I usually use like a peg on my board just to kind of get it going a little bit, just to like get that loop opened up. And then all you got to do is you just pull one of the strands. Let me move this so you can see what I'm doing. So you just pull, and see how it bunches up like that. You just keep pulling, and then the strand will just come apart. And then usually what I do is I'll move 20 inches down, and then just keep repeating until, I'll just like stick my finger in there, and you just pull. Don't pull them apart this way, because it's not going to work. You just have to like pull and slide it like out. You just put your thumb there, and it's real easy. Check that out. And I think actually with the 0.5, you can oh look, I'm almost finished. And then once you get to the end, you just pull and it's apart. And to straighten it, because you definitely want to get the kinks out, super easy. You just pull it. Just give it a little tiny stretch, and it's like magic. You can see that it's nice and straight. And so voila, just, in just a few seconds, you've got an even thinner version of this. Because, sometimes you need, something thicker, but sometimes you need it a little bit thicker. So it's like having 2 in 1. It's amazing. And let's see what we have next. Oh, the last item on our list is, okay, the silver bolo cord, that is called Seafoam Round Bolo Leather. And you get the iris blue, which is, it's the darker blue, and then the turquoise round. And this, let me see, I'm gonna show you here. This is the blue, the turquoise that I'm using for this bracelet on today's show. See, it's real pretty, and it's real like supple, and the coloring is very nice. I really liked it, because you don't want like leather that's like overly stiff, but this one is just very nice. Anyway, so those are all the products on today's show. So if you want to buy anything, make sure and click on that shop button. Okay, it got me thinking, like, who does not have like enough shades of brown? It's crazy how there's the red brown, the yellow brown, the light brown, it's just in dark, in all these different shades. I think of all the colors of stringing materials that I have, I think the browns are like the most like extensive. It is crazy. And I was going to talk about something else. I forgot. I don't know. But anyway, what I want to do now is go on to our customer slideshow. We didn't get a lot of submissions this week. I think you guys are being shy. So if you have anything, you may just, and don't worry if if you can't photograph it that well, because I could always do something, run it through Photoshop or something. But as long as it's on a white background, I can pretty much like fix it. So anyway, here is today's customer show. Ooh, first we have Laura Lee from Florida. Guys, look what she did here. Okay, she wire wrapped those rondelles on the top, and I think that just gives them a really, really nice touch. And here's a picture of her awesome daughter modeling. Don't we agree? We can all agree that jewelry always looks better when it's modeled. So we would love to thank your beautiful daughter, Laura Lee, for modeling all your jewelry. This looks so cool. I love what you did with those beads. And I like the color combination too. And then Sarah in North Carolina. Okay, Sarah, I think it's awesome that you macrameed the end part of that bracelet, because you could do like an overhand knot and it's a lot quicker, but you did that macrame and it just looks so nice. And I think you nailed it. And then we have the necklace here by itself, and you put those beads on, those large hole beads, which I don't know if you had the same problem that I did, Sarah, but when, I made mine, I really had to put the beads on there to keep the leather from like popping up. But this looks really, really nice. And I love the pendant too. Just matches really well. And then next we have Susanna from Louisville, Kentucky. And I was telling her these beads, I have those same beads. It's a Picasso fire polish. I guess that's what they're called. And this button was on the several shows ago. They're I think they're coconut buttons, but I think it looks really, really cute with the macrame on the outside, and then that buttonhole that you can slide open and close, which I think is like, don't you guys think that that's like the best, like a closure for a button, because that way you can make it big or small. It's like fantastico. And then next we have another one, Susanna from Louisville. And this is braided leather, and it's a lariat. So what's cool about this is you can wear it long if you want to, or you could wear it short. But I love, the braiding, and then how you made that tassel in front with I can see the coil knots and the overhand knots. It just looks really, really beautiful. And then next, another one by Laura Lee. Okay, so this one is like a rosary style, and I like the little fluffies that are interspersed. It's the like the faux leather, because one cool thing about it is that it fluffs out. In the front part where the cross connects to the necklace, you have like the helix macrame, and that's where you do the macrame and you just keep like either doing a bunch of tops or bottoms, and you get that spin in there. And it looks really nice. And I like how you got the, I guess it's a silicone slider bead, so that way it's adjustable. And I know the next one is like that as well. It looks this really pretty. And this one is also like a rosary style, with all the same elements, which I just love. And then last we have Sarah, North Carolina. And this one is like a classic where you make you attach your pendant with the moose knot, beautiful moose knot you made there, and then you evenly space the beads and the knots both at the same time. I think that's probably how you did it, Sarah. Let me know, but this is definitely one of it's very quick, it's easy, and it looks fantastic. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for all your submissions, and remember, if you have anything that you would like to submit, please send it to my email address, which is theknotty-do-it-all@gmail.com. Wasn't that fantastic? You guys are just so talented. Every time I see, I know I've said this so many times before, but every time I get an email from one of you guys and I see it's got little photo attachments, I get so excited, because I know that I'm just going to be blown away with your amazing talent. Because you guys, I can understand. You say, "Oh, but you taught me," but no. When you put your own twist on it, like everything that Laura Lee did, I mean, come on. I mean, I didn't teach you that. I mean, you came up with that on your own. So I just want you to know that I just think you guys are amazing. So we are going to start today's little project. This is going to be cool. You're going to like this. You're going to say, "Oh, why didn't I think of that?" Okay. So someone had asked if I could show the separating of the cord again. Okay, so I will do that. Let me get a little tiny piece here and I will show you. Okay, I just want to say one thing. Some of you do have the wax jewelry cord in the 0.9, which is the thicker version of this. It is a little bit trickier to separate. I'm going to admit that, but this one is a lot easier. So you just have it straight, and what you do is you just twist it. Here, let me, just like this. And then you could just use a peg on the board just to kind of get it going. And then all you got to do is just pull. And see how it just comes out? And someone had mentioned it's like a separating like floss. And see, it's going to get a little bunched up like this. But all you do is you just get your fingers and you just work it down like that. And then it just comes right apart. And then when you get more thread, you don't have to worry about oh, which one did I pull before? It doesn't matter. So you just basically twist it again and you do the same thing. And what I did, see, they just come apart. So for this project, I took 3 yards of this cord and I separated it. So, and that's what I used to make this bracelet. And this is going to be really interesting because, okay, what you end up doing is folding it in half. So it ends up, I don't know, we're just going to end up folding it in half. So here's the end that, where it's folded. And then on this side, we have the folded end. And on this side, we are going to put, in case you guys don't know, I'm a very big fan of what I call leadered needles. And what this is, it's a needle. And it has I put fishing line, either sometimes I'll use a 2 pound, sometimes a 4, sometimes a 6. It all depends on the size of the hole, because there have been times where the hole is so tiny that even the knot that I make on the 6 pound, the bead won't go over. So then I have to go down to a thinner cord. But let me grab one of these because we are going to need one. And what I do is I just make a whole bunch of them and put them on a magnet. But don't tie the ends, because I did that one time where I tied all the ends off because I thought I'm going to tie them anyway. And they got so tangled. It was like this huge mess. So I'm going to come in here and I am going to attach. Let me see, should I do that? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that after I do the next step. So let me put this aside. Ouch. We're going to put this, let me put this here, because this next step, it'll be easier if this doesn't have the leadered needle. Okay, let me see. I want to say hi to Debbie, Gina. Let's see who else we have in the house. Michael, Joy. Let's see. Prince 5775. We got Robin, Adair. Hey, Adair. Sarah Jones, Susanna, Chatty, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see if we got, oh, Pat, the timekeeper, Nita. Okay, so I'm so glad you guys are all here. So this one, okay, let's get started. Okay, so I ran into so many problems when I made this bracelet, and I was able to recover. Okay, so what ended up happening, it was going to be just knotted. It was going to be a triple strand knotted. And so I started doing that. And so let's just start doing that. Let's just pretend like we're going to do our knotted, and then we change our mind. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm making this one shorter because I don't want to run out of time, because I'm going to try to do the ladder stitch as quickly as I can, but I don't want to run out of time. So if you're saying that's a strange size, well, that's because I don't want to run out of time. Okay, so what I do when I do the knotting, if this is something that you guys aren't familiar with, when I do the knotting, I do it backwards. So what I do is I leave, a little bit, maybe about an inch or so, and then I make my first overhand knot. And then I clip it just like this. Then I knot backwards. It's so much faster and easier. So, I mean, we can get this done in no time. So you just flip your cord and see right at the very top. Let me see if I can zoom in. that you just flip it over and then you just pull it back towards you. And then you could just take the next bead and just tighten it. So, and what I did was I did 2 knots in between. So let's just, and the spacing does not, at this point, does not have to be perfect. I just put like a little, like just a tiny smidgen, you know, just to, like I said, it's kind of like eyeballing it. Because, you know, trying to use any kind of tools to evenly space leather, it does not work very well. It's just better to do it like manually, because leather is like, I consider like leather to be like on the squishy side of the, you know, the stringing material spectrum, only in that, you know, you can get the knot type, but it's still, there's still a little bit of give to it. So I just don't use any tools to, you know, try to evenly space, you know, these kinds of knots. Okay, so we're just going to do a few. And what you're looking out for, okay, let me tell you what you're looking for. Okay, I'm going to make this one, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should I do 6? Yeah, maybe I should do 5 because, okay, remember, I would not in real life make it 5. But what you want when you clip it back into the pegs, you need a space right here and right here. So I can just keep going because I've got this big gap here. So I'm going to knot a couple of more. Let's see. Let's just, man, let me tell you, you can, if you guys aren't knotting this way, you need to start doing it because it is just the fastest. I mean, I think I have like a, I don't know, I think the longest leather and pearl necklace. What is that thing? I mean, it is like, you know, I just wanted to see how long I could go. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to make a last overhand knot right there. And okay, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to clip this in, and that first, see how I have that space right here? Then I've got that space right in here. And it doesn't have to be like 100% perfect. I mean, it's just as long as you have, enough space to do a macrame binding knot. Let me look at the comments here just to see if there are any questions. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me scroll. Oh, there are a lot of. Okay. Can we purchase? Yes. Purchase pegs and clips. Yes. Just send an email through my website. Okay. Yes, the kitty size. Yes, Elizabeth, you remembered. It's going to be the kitty size. And anyway, I knew that I would mention more about the board. This, in case you guys don't have one, this tool is like fantastic for, like, I mean, I don't know how to even explain it. It's so intuitive. You just want to do something, you go, you already know. Like, you do this, you want this. It's so fast and easy to rearrange the clips. And what I teach in all my lessons is a skill set. So, you know, the moose knots, the evenly spacing of knots, the ladder, the braiding, just knotting this, knotting that, different types of cord and patterns. And what I mostly, I want you guys to be able, and Sarah's really good at it because, you know, last week, you know, I posted a bracelet, you know, on my Instagram, and before I even did the show, she like looked at it and she knew what to do. So that's what I want you guys to learn, is like the skill set. So when you see something that inspires you, you know what to do. You don't have to like, oh my God, you know, I don't know what to do. But that's but I think today's lesson, you are going to learn something really, really cool. So, but it's got the bead and ring size chart. I mean, it's just like the rulers are in inches and centimeters, and we do have a travel board as well. But I'm so excited to get to this part. So I think you can find more information on the side there. You could click on it and under products and get more information. Okay, so back to this. Guys, let me tell you, okay, what I did when I did the original one is I had rings in here because since we are going to be wrapping around like this, I had put rings, and let's just put the rings just, for the heck of it. So I'm going to clip this like off right here. And I'll tell you what happened. And then, what I did to fix it. So let me get some rings. Okay, hang on. This is just for dramatic effect. Because I ran into a problem when I did put the rings on. And so I just want you to know that if you have the same problem, this is what you can do to fix it. So I come in here, put a ring in here, and then one in here, and then I wrap. And this doesn't have to be this long. I should not have wasted like more leather than I needed. So let's just clip this. So I was doing the knotting and I'm like, you know how we get, we just like, not feeling it. So I had this idea. I thought, well, how do I like just go into a ladder stitch right here? Like, let's say I just like this, okay? So what I did was, that 3 yards of cord that we separated, I got that, and this is what I did. And this is something I don't think you guys have ever seen. So I'm going to start doing a macrame binding knot, okay? So I'm going to, like, when I do that, this side is the long side, but this is the short side. And probably you need about 9 to 10 inches on this side. So we're just going to start doing a macrame binding knot right on the end there. And normally, oh my goodness. Okay, I know that I've said this before, but when you're doing like a ladder bracelet, anything in its wake will like, let's get everything out. Let me start all over because this is just taking everything. Uh-oh. Don't you feel like you need to be in the middle of nowhere when you're making a ladder bracelet? Because, Okay, so now there is the top. And you can see it's going to pop apart, but no worries. Now you just come in and do a bottom. There you go. And I think that this is the only time that I actually put like some type of a GS hypo cement like on the, oh my, perfect. Look at that. Oh, you guys know that I have this relationship with this stuff. Look, the needle just is completely gone out. Where did it go? Man, I cannot win with this stuff. No matter, oh my, well, you know what? Let's see. Let's go to let's do something here. Okay, I'm just gonna take oh, this is too funny. I'm just gonna take a little bit of GS hypo cement and just like stick it in there. And the reason it's not. Is this a joke or what? Where did the needle go? It's not even like stuck, is it? Oh yeah, look at that, guys. It's like, does that ever happen to you? I bet this is just, well, at least it makes it easier to get the, the thing back in. That's why I cannot win with this stuff. It's just crazy. But the only reason I put glue is not so much to like glue the waxed cord to the leather. It's mostly to like glue all the leather strands to each other so that they don't slip. It's just like insurance. So that always definitely works. So just a little bit of your GS hypo cement, and then you just keep going. You just keep doing the macrame. So and you want to make this, let me just I'm just going to go fast at this point. Do most of you guys, do you understand what I'm doing? Let me make sure that I'm reading your comments and questions. Have I tried Zap glue? You know what? I don't know actually. Zap. What kind of glue is it? Is it like no, I don't know. Can you use the needle and the cap to apply the glue to the macrame? Can you use the needle? Probably. Yeah, you know what? Actually, oh my goodness, stop. I could probably do that. Okay, now this is, and then if you forget like which side is which, just look for the bump. Let me see if we can, because I just lost it. Okay, I think it's on this side, so I need to do a bottom. Or is it a top? I don't know. Okay, this is, yeah, this one's a top. So I know that sometimes you guys ask about that top and bottom. I'm just gonna keep going. And I mean, there's no like rule that it has to be a certain length, but as long as it's on the longish side, because the more like macrames you have in there, the stronger it's gonna be. I mean, it's just, um, okay, let me tighten this one. Okay, so now we are gonna take a thread zap. Actually, should you know what? I don't know. Because I'm always changing my mind. Should I just melt this up? Yeah, let's just do that right now. Because sometimes it kind of gets in the way. Let's tap that down. Now, see how we have this side now? So what we're going to do is we are going to attach our leadered needle to this end. So let me get my stuff out of the way. Okay, where did that go? Okay, and here we go. And you know, usually I make my leadered needles long because I like to use them over and over, but I wish I had a short, I think, but for ladder bracelets, I'm going to trim it because it's bad enough when you're dealing with all the cord that goes into the ladder bracelet. So yeah, I think I'm just going to trim this. I think this is the only exception where oh my goodness. Okay. And the next thing, for those of you that have never used a leadered needle, see how the knot is right on the bend of the cord? You want to move that. So what you do is just grab like the fishing line and just like kind of make sure it, when you see that how I just offset it so that that knot isn't like at the fold. Okay, so let's see your, okay. So does everyone like understand so far what I've done? I've made the macrame binding knot with the cord doubled, and then I just trimmed off one side and left the leadered needle. And that is what we are going to be doing our ladder stitch with. I'm trying to think here. Okay, so now we've got this, and okay, so now we're going to start. Let's start doing our ladder stitch now. Something doesn't look right because when I did it, it was a little bit different. I don't know, guys. This is like really weird. I don't know, but okay. So now okay. One thing I want to mention: if you guys get the 6mm and you're doing the ladder bracelet with it, there were a few of the beads that just didn't like that didn't fit the cord. So one thing that you can do, you can start to get like a feel, like for like if like right now this is very, see how that's loose? I know that I can go through twice, but some of the beads were, the holes were really, really small and I couldn't. But sometimes when you string the bead on just like this, and if you feel a lot of friction, like if it's hard to like get on when it's like just straight on like this, it's going to be twice as hard, you know, trying to get two strings through. So that's kind of like a little rule of thumb that I have so that you can. So let's get this in here. I don't know, something's like not right. I think I must have done something wrong, but let's try this. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, I'm going to come down here. don't know, when I did it, this thing, I was able to like disconnect it. You know, I think I put it in the wrong way. Okay, well, good. I'm glad I did. So now we could see if we could actually ladder stitch this, despite the fact that I put it in wrong. I think we might be able to actually. So, and right for this one here, I'm using the 8mm beads only because I didn't want to run out of time. So let's now we're gonna like scoot this all the way down, and I'm gonna take a knotting awl because see you need to get that the cord right in here. Let's pull that and scoot it down. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. So at least you guys know that. And then when you want to make sure this cord right here, you want to make sure that it's like, you pull both of these to make sure everything is like, see that? So it's nice and snug. And then you just, you come around. That's one nice thing about this board. It just, you know, no matter like what you do, even if it seems like an impossible task, it just like, it makes everything so much easier. So, okay, so we got the first bead on. And now, does everyone here know how to do the ladder stitch? So basically you feed your bead under, just like this, and then you go back through. And then you come back through. And one thing I do like to do, but I'm not doing it now, I like to start off like I would have started off with a 6mm and then like graduated to the 8 and then back down to the 6. And that's because, so that way you don't have that gigantic gap in there. But for the sake of time, I, you know, thought I would just, okay, let's get this one. And another thing that you could do is, because these 8mm beads have a much bigger hole, and see how easy it is just to like, you know, get the ladder stitch going. But sometimes with the 6mm, it's the holes are a little bit smaller, and when you're coming back, yeah, right, Debbie. I would also start with a smaller bead. Okay, I'm gonna try to speed this up because I want to show you guys the how you finish the end. Okay, I'm gonna do this like pronto. Okay. And oh, this seems like, oh my goodness. Let's see, glass. Okay, right here. Feed this through and then come back. Okay, I'm gonna do it like as if I were like actually doing this. And then the another thing that you can do, you know, I'm gonna save that for another project, because you can also tie this in a way that you have 2 needles. Because someone had mentioned that in one of the other shows, like, can you do the 2 needle method? Yes, you can. And this also works for that method as well. So, and you know, I know a couple of you guys have asked me like what size beads are best for like a ladder bracelet. I tend to like I think the 6mm works. The 6mm and smaller seem to work really well. What is, see that? Okay, so you just, when you have like an issue like this, just put your fingers here and just pull both of these until they're like equalized, and then you just keep going. And you can get fancy if you want, like you can come back through here to give it an extra wrap, but you know, sometimes I find that it's just kind of sort of distracting, so I just kind of, I don't do that. And do any of you know, I mean, I did not look it up. I didn't have a chance to look it up today, but do you know what lapis represents? See that right in here, and then you come back through. And if you have not ladder stitched, it's definitely one of those things it's worth learning how to do, because like on this one, you know, I changed, like you could do a pattern. So I changed to a different bead. And I'll just tell you about this little cluster, which, okay, sometimes when I'm like doing anything, I try anything. I'm like, even if I think it's not going to work, I'm like, I'm going to try that anyway. So what I ended up doing with this is I had these little, like, I'll show you the underside of this. And I thought, how will it look if it was ladder stitch? And it actually looks kind of cute. It's a really cute little cluster. So let me show you what it is. It's like one of these findings. It's like a ball with a ring. See that? So what I did was I just literally took 3 of them and I just ladder stitched it. You know, I used the holes like as if they were like regular beads, and I just like boom, boom, went right through. And then look how cute that looks. So, you know, that would look cute to, I mean, it's just like a little like added like element that you can add to your pieces. Just, you know, every little detail type thing that, you know how to do, it's just going to make your like skill set just a lot more like bigger, more and just like interesting. Okay, so let me get another one of these. You know, I'm gonna start doing this really fast because I'm gonna try to like finish here. Okay. Oh, and let me go back to like my bracelet and what happened. Okay, so when I finished it, you know, I had the rings on the end, and it ended up being too long because, you know, I thought, okay, I still need to put the cord for the slide knot, and I still need to add the slide knot, and that adds length to the piece. And I was just like, oh, and it was way too big. And then so I thought, well, what do I do? Well, you know, I was able to just decide to cut the rings off completely, and you could actually just attach the the cord for finishing just directly onto the loops. So that's how I ended up fixing that problem. But I want to get to the end here because this next part is like important. I think I'm doing okay on time. So let me just get this one. In 3 yards, like if you missed how much I said to use before, you just take 3 yards and split it and double it. Oh, thank you. 19 minutes. Yay. And this one ended up being like I don't know, I would say it's got like a beachy, like summer day vibe to it. And one thing, okay, this is because sometimes it's the little things that make the big difference. Okay, one thing that I do, I mean, if you're new to like ladder, what am I doing? Oh my goodness. Shoot. Uh-oh, see, there it goes. It wants to jump in. So I'm going to come under here, put the bead on. Okay, so, yeah, oh good, we're almost like, oh goody, I made it to the end. So what was I going to say? So you put this in. Oh yeah, when you're coming back through, see this loop right here? If you just like kind of like hold it off to the left, for some reason, it just lays better. I don't know how to explain it, but it just, I don't know. Because when I first started doing this, all these cords were kind of like skewed to the right. And then for some reason, just doing it on the left side just kind of like helps equalize it. And the only other thing, in case you missed it, when you do the very, very first one, just the first one, you need to like come back through and wrap it, because otherwise this bead is going to just pop right out. So this extra wrap right in here just helps keeps lock it in place. I start the fishtail at the terminal knot and then a C. Oh yeah. That's a good idea. Yes. Okay, so now for this, okay, so now we're gonna do this part. So what I did was you're gonna take one of these cords out, not both of them. Okay, so we're gonna have to cut the cut this leadered needle off, but cut it like, because you right at the fold, take your needle out, and then you are going to take one of the cords out. And I think I kind of did something like this a couple of shows back. Okay, so you don't want to pull both of them out, just one. Let's get that. Let me scoop this. Okay, very carefully. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start macrameing like back towards the peg. So there's a bottom, and then top. And that one's definitely going to want to pop out. I mean, that's a given. That is going to happen. But then when you do the next one over, it'll lock it in. There we go. And okay, time for that. My favorite. Okay, let's see if. Let's see what surprises. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's a good idea. Thanks for mentioning that. Maybe I could put the. I don't think so. That ain't happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Let's just pretend that I put like like glue in there. You're just gonna put it right in there, so that's top, bottom, and then what you do is you macrame this. And I think I did this like in the last show where I did the macrame, but then I'm gonna go back over it the opposite direction just to give it extra strength. Toothpicks, yes. You know, I should get myself some toothpicks up here. And yeah, I hope I have time. Let me how am I doing on time? Okay, I think so you guys get the idea. You just make it to where you get like to where it looks even on both sides, because I don't want to run out of time, because there's another necklace that I just want to talk about briefly. So in case you have like this same problem where, you know, you change your mind, it's like what you can do about it. So what I do at this point is I turn it over and I macrame. Let's see, where is it? I'm going to macrame going back. And what that does is it just gives it that extra, like, super strength. Just do it nice and snug. Just kind of come in here and just tighten it really well. And you don't have to like do it like all the way, but you know, just enough to where you feel like it's comfortable. Maybe I would say maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9. So let's just like stop there, and let's see, get your thread zap. And it's really important that you, in case you've never worked with the waxed jewelry cord, you need to like leave a little bit, because you're going to turn that into like a little tiny button, and then you just like tap it, because that right there, that little like bump is what's going to keep it from like popping apart. Let me get rid of the smoke. Oof, hang on. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Then you come in here, and then you cut. And so there you have your ladder bracelet that's like combined with the knotted, all in one piece. And that's one of the beauty of a multi-strand. And let me tell you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many things that you can do. Let's see how this fits. You know, that actually isn't bad considering. It's just the other one I'd made it. So I like that. Oh my goodness. I think this one's gonna be a this one's going to work out. But what ended up happening with the other one, it had the rings, and then it was just way too long. I put it on, it just fell off. And the way I was able to make it fit was I just cut the rings off. And instead of putting the, let's see, where did that bracelet go? Because normally I would put this slide knot, I would put crisscross the cords over and then put this coil knot going like horizontally. However, that does add to the length. So my option was just to like fold this cord, just fold it in there and then make the a sideways like, you know, sliding knot. So let's see, we got this. Okay, so let's see, how are we doing on time? 10:50. Okay, let me see if I can like finish this. So in case you're not familiar with the moose knot, let me zoom in here. Okay, so what you do is you put a pin and a clip an inch apart anywhere on your board. It doesn't matter, just as long as it's an inch apart. And this is oh, you know what? I could probably get fancy because I've got like, oh well, nah, I'll just not get fancy. So what you do is you just take about 4 to 5 inches of cord. And check this out. This is one of my favorite knots. And this is the same knot that Sarah used like on her, the horse necklace that you saw at the beginning of the show. But instead of it like tying on a pendant, we are tying like the finishing cord onto a bracelet. So let's get this side. Then you tighten that. And when you slide it down, this is just the prettiest. Isn't that like the best knot? I love lithium batteries. You know what? I think I'd mentioned the lithium batteries. This, I tell you, my thread zapper has, I thought there was something wrong with it. You know, it was like it just kept working and working. And I know that I mentioned this in another show. I mean, you know how sometimes you get something and you're just like, what is wrong with this? I thought that my husband like secretly came in and like changed out the batteries because the thing has been working for like 3 months nonstop and I use it every single day. And it was the lithium battery. I accidentally bought lithium batteries. So I'm going to cut, I don't know, some off. And there we have this. And now I'm going to put the other side. God, man, I had no idea that lithium batteries were just like the best. I mean, my second favorite choice, of course, would be rechargeables, but you know how rechargeables are. You have them on the charger, and then your beautiful family members come and they borrow them. And then when you need them, they're dead anyway. So there, let me slide this down. Yeah, oh, I hated these. Oh yeah, okay, yep. The that's definitely like Prince 5775. Yeah, that is definitely it's just amazing. Let me, you know, actually when I'm doing the faux leather, it's because it's so thick. I think a lighter's a better option. Let me just tap that down, and then, okay, 10:53. And you guys know that the next thing that I do is I'll put just 2 clips spaced apart. I'll flip them over, and I'm just going to really quickly do a macrame slide knot because the first one was more of a binding knot, but the second one is going to be a slide knot. And I think I'm going to step down the size of the faux leather that I use because I don't want it to be so bulky. And okay, this one is a slippery cord on a slippery cord. So it just slides. And so if you're using like a waxed cord, it's not going to like budge. So that's like, I don't recommend making slide knots with a wax. Did I just mess that up? But that's okay. I'm just trying to do this really fast. And these I usually make about 1 inch. And I'll tell you something in just a second. Like, because I know that I have said in the past that, you know, it's not a good idea to make a sliding knot with the wax cord. However, there are exceptions, and I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to come in here. I'll make this about 1 inch or so. I'm going to come and trim this. And this one I'm going to melt. So remember, always those tabs are so important. So you could use a slide clasp. Yes. Yeah, there are many options. But I'm making a regular macrame slide knot on this one only because the other one, I had to do the coil knot because it came out like too long, and I was like looking for everything I possibly could to make it as short as possible. Okay, so let's check this out. Okay, so I actually think this one's gonna like fit. See, oh, look at that. See, so when you add the rings, the moose knots, and the clasp, all that adds to the length of the bracelet. So those are just some of the things to consider when you're making it. Just, you know, get an idea. Like this right here's 1 inch, and you're like, oh, but that's just so, because I used to think that there's too much going on back there. However, all that, the too much going on, you could actually make it look pretty. You could add like wire wrap dangles. Like I know that Laura Lee does that all the time, because you could see like all like kinds of pretty things on hers. And you could put like on the, when you make the macrame slide knot, you could put like the beads on the outside. So there, you could actually make the finishing end of your bracelet part of the design, and it looks really, really nice. So anyway, and then I just finished the like little endings, but enough of this. I want to like try to talk about what happened with this one. Okay. So ignore this part, because you could see here, this originally started off as a necklace. Like I said, ignore this part right here. Let's pretend like that's not there. So you could see the necklace part of it. See that? So what I did was I put the moose knot, and then I went into a braid. And what happened was and this is something that, I mean, I think it's going to happen to everybody. When I made it, I put it on, and I just felt like there wasn't enough weight for the type of cord that I used, which was the wax cord. So if I were to make this over, I would use silk, because silk is extremely drapey. It doesn't have the wax, and it's just more like flowy. So I think a necklace like this would work with the silk. So that's why I decided, like, I didn't want to, I thought, oh, I've done all this work already. What do I do? So I braided the rest of these little cubes on to where it was, I believe it ended up being, let me see. Yeah, I did 12 inches because I wanted it to be a double wrap. And then on this other side, since the plan was to braid the cubes on. Oh, Sharon, oh, I want you to learn to braid, because, maybe, I don't know, we need to help you, because it's just one of the most amazing like techniques, and it's just so versatile, and I really, really like it. And so what I ended up doing here was, like, I just braided these little silver beads until I got to 12 inches as well. So, and then when I got to the end of the necklace, I took both sides, and see, it's got a button. So I did feed it through the button, come back through, and I did a macrame like binding knot. See, so this literally saved the project. And then on this side, since this was the pendant and I did have a ring, what I did was I attached one of those little, this is the slidey knot that, that I show everyone how to do, because it's like fantastic if you're using a large size button. You don't have to worry about that gigantic loop. So this ended up being a really cute Let me see, I've got 45 seconds. Let's see if I can get this on in the allotted time. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna get this. Okay, I know. Oh. There, boom, got it. Bracelet. So anyway, 20 seconds left, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show and that you learned something. Like if you're like in a situation where you made something and it didn't quite turn out the way you wanted it, how to just like hopefully transition into something else. Anyway, thank you guys for joining today's show. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.